Subscribe to Tech Now Review to get all kinds of tech news and press the bell icon to get notified for our future uploads.
So yesterday Xiaomi had launched the Mi A2 and the Mi A2 Lite in their launch event held in Spain, Madrid. And after seeing the Mi A2, I got to see there is not much of a difference when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons whether you should go for the Redmi Note 5 Pro or whether you should wait for the release of Mi A2 in India. But before that, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Links will be provided down below in the description box. Stick around till the end of this video. My name is Abhishek. You're watching Tech Now Review. Let's get started. So I'll start with 5 reasons on the good things about the Mi A2 over the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So starting with the stock Android on Mi A2. As you know that Redmi Note 5 Pro comes with MIUI, which is a custom skin over Android Oreo, and nowadays we are also getting the MIUI 10 update on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, which looks really good. But in my opinion, there are few people who love stock Android over any kind of custom skin on Android. So next comes the performance. On the Mi A2 you're getting Snapdragon 660, whereas on the Redmi Note 5 Pro you are getting Snapdragon 636. Now both of these CPUs are designed for mid-range smartphones, as both of them supports DDR4 RAM as well as 4K recording support as well as Quick Charge 4.0, but there is a difference in clock speed as well as the GPU. So the Snapdragon 660 is clocked at 2.2 GHz, whereas the Snapdragon 636 is clocked at 1.8 GHz. Plus there is an upgraded GPU with Adreno 512 on the 660, which is designed for high performance gaming. Now if you're a gamer, then I'll say the Snapdragon 660 will perform a bit better while you're gaming. Now next comes a very important feature which is there on the camera on the Mi A2, whereas it's not there on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Yes, you have guessed it right, it's the 4K recording support. So the Mi A2 supports 4K video recording on 30 frames per second, whereas the Redmi Note 5 Pro doesn't support 4K recording. The highest resolution on which Redmi Note 5 Pro can shoot a video is 1080p 30 FPS. Yes, you can install any third-party application or any mod after rooting your phone to get the 4K recording support in the Redmi Note 5 Pro, as the processor supports 4K recording, but the MIUI or the Android which is running on the Redmi Note 5 Pro doesn't enable the option. So you can install any third-party application to do that, but we are talking about out-of-the-box experience. So with Redmi Note 5 Pro you are not getting 4K recording out of the box. And also the rear cameras, the primary rear camera on the Redmi Note 5 Pro is a 5 megapixel sensor, whereas on the Mi A2 it has got a 20 megapixel primary sensor for depth sensing. So you can expect a much better portrait photography with the Mi A2 and also a better low light photography when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now the next reason which I'm going to say is not that much important, but yes, it's there on the Mi A2 and not available on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and it's the Gorilla Glass variant mentioned on the phone. So both of these smartphones are having Gorilla Glass protection, but Xiaomi doesn't mention any version of Gorilla Glass with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, whereas on the Mi A2 we are getting Gorilla Glass 5 protection, which is the latest technology from Corning. Yes, both the devices are durable, both the devices have got Gorilla Glass protection, but you know the certification does changes a lot of stuff. So you are getting the Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the Mi A2 and you're not getting any variant mentioned of the Gorilla Glass on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now finally comes the updates. So on MIUI you are getting updates, but most of the updates are for security patches as well as customization in the MIUI skin, and we hardly get the major software updates like updates from the Android Oreo to Android P. So we don't get that much updates on the MIUI devices. But on the stock Android or the Android One programmed devices you will get software updates directly from Google, not from Xiaomi. So you can expect much faster software updates on the Mi A2 when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So guys, those were the 5 reasons which says that Mi A2 is much better than the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So now I'll talk about 5 reasons which might change the decision of you buying the Mi A2 over the Redmi Note 5 Pro. If you compare the design of the Mi A2 with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, then on the front as well as on the back you won't find any difference. Yes, the Mi A2 Lite has got notch, but the Mi A2 doesn't have any notch, no bezel-less design, nothing changed in placement of cameras when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Both of them having vertically placed dual rear cameras, both of them doesn't have any notch, no bezel-less design, nothing new in it. Now the next two reasons might change your decision for buying the Mi A2 over the Redmi Note 5 Pro, as the first one is that the Mi A2 doesn't have any SD card slot. So whatever internal storage you are getting with the Mi A2, you have to stick with that. Yes, you are getting the 128GB variant with the Mi A2, which is the highest variant, but you are not getting any SD card slot. Whereas on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, you are getting a 64GB of internal storage, which is the highest variant, and you are also getting a micro SD card slot where you can expand the storage up to 256GB. And the next one is the lack of headphone jack on the Mi A2. So you're not getting the headphone jack with the Mi A2, as it comes with a USB Type-C adapter, which is a USB Type-C to 3.5mm headphone jack, which you need to connect with the Mi A2 in order to use your standard headphones. So it's not there, but yes, the Mi A2 Lite has got the headphone jack. So if you're a person having a high-end headphone and you're expecting it to use with your new smartphone, then make sure to check that, as the Redmi Note 5 Pro has got the headphone jack, whereas the Mi A2 doesn't have the 3.5mm headphone jack with it. So next comes the battery. The battery on the Mi A2 is of 3000 mAh, whereas on the Redmi Note 5 Pro we are having a 4000 mAh of battery. So if you're a person who haven't used any Xiaomi devices before, then I would like to tell you that the battery on Xiaomi devices is very good. I didn't found any problem with the battery performance on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, as I used to get around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and it can easily last a day full of charge. Whereas we are getting 3000 mAh battery on the Mi A2, which is a 1000 mAh difference when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So it might be a problem in the battery department as well. But yes, the Mi A2 comes with stock Android, so you know that when we don't have enough bloatwares or enough applications which drains a lot of battery in the background, then a 3000 mAh battery can also perform much better than a smartphone having 4000 mAh of battery. So we have to test it after getting the device, but as per the specs goes, you are getting a 3000 mAh battery on the Mi A2 when compared to the massive 4000 mAh on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So finally, the price. So everything comes down to price, as even if a phone has got a high-end specs, at last we check the price. So the 6GB RAM and 64GB internal storage variant of the Redmi Note 5 Pro costs 17,000 rupees, whereas there is no such variant for the Mi A2 having 6GB plus 64GB storage model. The highest model on the Mi A2 is of 6GB plus 128GB of internal storage, and as per the launch event, the cost of it is 349 euros. So if we convert it to Indian rupees, it comes to around 28,000 rupees. As you know, the price may change around 3,000 or 4,000 rupees when it gets released to India, but don't expect the highest variant of the Mi A2 to get released in India with the same price tag as the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So there is a massive price difference, but not a huge difference in performance. But yes, if you are a fan of stock Android and quick updates, then I would say wait for the Mi A2 release in India, check its price, and then decide for which one to go for. But these are the differences, and these are the 5 reasons to buy as well as not buy the Mi A2 over the Redmi Note 5 Pro. And if you have got any other differences with the Mi A2 and the Redmi Note 5 Pro, then make sure to share with us in the comments down below. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also make sure to subscribe to our Hindi channel. Links will be provided down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.